Hi, friends. Let's have a little talk here. I expressed some things in the last couple of years about Dave Ramsey, and some people found that very offensive. They really jumped on, let's defend Dave Ramsey bandwagon, and they were pretty put out with me, and which really surprised me because as a scriptorian, as someone that has, I am a licensed minister, as someone who enjoys good entertainment, as someone that enjoys the amenities that America offers us, and we live a standard of living that is unbelievable compared to the rest of the world. I mean, it's a comparison to really go onto the internet and to look at. How do we live compared to how the rest of the world lives? We live unbelievably well. The poorest in America has air conditioning, they have a brand new car, they have a big screen TV, they have food, they have cheese, they have milk, they have a phone. The rest of the world does not live like that, not at all. And so when I listen to Dave Ramsey on his show here on YouTube, the concern is what good is storing up millions of dollars going to make when, according to the Bible and according to looking around, if you don't believe in the Bible, if you just look around, you can see that the world is getting worse and worse and worse. We have not found a cure for AIDS. We have not found a cure for cancer. And on top of that, now there are strains of superbugs that could cause at least an epidemic, if not a pandemic. All it's going to take is them making a small little leap, evolving, going airborne, and we're going to have a full-fledged the Black Plague on our hands, or smallpox, or polio, or these things are coming back with a vengeance. Now, people like to put their heads in the sand and believe that everything's going to get better and better. That's not what I'm seeing. What I'm seeing as I read, what I'm seeing, aside from fake news on TV, which basically most news are now turned into propaganda pieces for socialism or for pure capitalism. If you just look around and you pay attention to what's going on in this world, you will see that we're on the verge of something. We're on the verge of something. And a couple $1 million aren't going to save you. Now, when I have my issues with Dave Ramsey, I have no problem with getting out of debt. I think that is absolutely a wonderful idea for every Christian. I think that's a great thing to do. My issue with him is simply when he says that you need to go beyond and you need to store up, stash of cash kind of thing. Invest. Well, I believe in investing a certain portion, but I also believe that we have a window of opportunity here. And what is that window of opportunity? Well, the window of opportunity is put our money where it's going to be most effective. And I'm sorry, your money is not going to be most effective invested it into the stock market. Your money is going to be most effective according to the Bible and according to me, is invested into people. People is what it's all about. Now, we have two differing beliefs here. Some people believe that people are the problem. I believe that people are special, and that's why we're sentient, and we have a spirit and a soul, where animals just have a spirit. And so this is where I run into some contention with some real right-wing fanatics. Now, Dave Ramsey is nothing new. And that's the secret. I've run across this many times before, where people want to preach that God wants you to be prosperous. Well, you already are. Living in America, you already are prosperous. If you eat 3 meals a day, you're prosperous. If you own a car, you're prosperous. Just one. Just one. And I own two. I own an 86 Toyota pickup and a 2009 Chevy Impala. I'm wealthy. I'm doing very, very well. If you have a job that's providing you health care, you are prosperous. And probably even if you don't, you're prosperous. If you can read, you're prosperous. If you can do basic math, according to the world I'm talking about, you're in the highest intelligence in the world. And these are things that we take for granted that the rest of the world doesn't have. They don't have it. They don't have the medical treatment we do. And if we want to do something good, what we should basically be doing is we should not just be sending them money over there. We should be teaching them how themselves to create clean water. We should be teaching them themselves how to develop medicine and things like that. Our meddling sometimes just ends up causing even more problems than rather just instead of teaching them how to do things, how to better themselves, going over there and doing it for them is not necessarily what I think is altruism, the true altruism in its purest form. I don't think it's the best altruism, let's put it that way. I think we're wasting our time. So I pick on Dave Ramsey because already if you're making $50,000 a year like I am, and you're living in a modest home, and you're debt-free, and you have health insurance, and you drive a vehicle at all, whatever that vehicle may be that gets you from point A to point B, you already are a 1%er. Let that sink in for a moment. You're already a 1%er. Worldwide. Now in America you're not. Because some people have wealth beyond what they need, and I'm sorry, but there's only so much wealth you can have. I'm sorry. Bill Gates does not enjoy a better life than I do. You can say that he does, but it's just not true. Tom Cruise does not enjoy a better life than I do. He just doesn't. There's only so much wealth you can have. I mean, then it becomes boring. Cars become boring. No car will satisfy. Lobster eating so much lobster tastes like soap. You become bored. You become discontent. We're made to be able to work and have purpose, and also to be content with whatever station in life that we're given. And the thing is if you have $200 million or you only make $50,000 a year, the bottom line is that you're still doing really, really, really well. Now, there's a guy, Mr. Money Mustache, that only lives on, believe it or not, $25,000 a year. And he does really, really well. How does he do it? By living on a strict budget. By every choice that he makes being, do I need this or do I want this? Now, do I believe in his religious beliefs? Absolutely not. He's an atheist, hardcore. But do I believe that he's got his head on his shoulders right about wealth? Yes, I do. Do I believe Dave Ramsey has his head on his shoulders right about wealth? Most of the time I do. But in the storing up, I do not. I believe that you should give away as much as you can. If God blesses you with an abundance, that it should be your job to give it away as hard and as fast as you can. Anything beyond provision. And so I think I need to explain this because a lot of people, they love to jump to Dave Ramsey's defense and comments and so forth. And you just don't understand. I love Dave Ramsey. I love him teaching to get out of debt. I love him teaching you to shun materialism and live a more spiritual life. But I don't like the part where we have a window of opportunity here, and I believe that window is going to close. That window could close tomorrow. It could close in a few months. It could close in a year. We don't know. But we could have the biggest recession you've ever seen. Remember, our government is $20 trillion in debt. $20 trillion. You need to look that up. Look that up, how much money that is. I'll tell you right now. It's a lot. Just some thoughts telling you the point of all this is that when you have a window of opportunity to be generous, you have a window of opportunity to live, be content where you are and live a simple life, I think you should take it. I think you should say that's enough. Okay? Like deal or no deal. You won $1 million, but you got 500,000. Take the 500,000 and not risk it. That's what I have to say. Anyway, let me know what you think. Take care. Bye.